censorship regime that we have in the United States. They had the scandal in 2023 with the lawsuit that uh, the DHS, the FBI, and the government agencies were like telling Facebook what to ban. So basically, and you know, the CIA is in charge of Wikipedia, and there's all this other stuff that was also found out in the same year. So here's what this tells us. Not only do we need to take over the reins with power and influence, but we need to legislate against these NGOs like ADL and other ones. We also need to start creating our own NGOs like this that influence social media on behalf of our side. Because the news is and I can give plenty more examples of this, even crazier ones, but the news is just a gigantic social media and the news with the consensus is just a gigantic protection racket. Because the strategy is this, just to wrap up here, what I'm saying initially. This is the strategy, generally. If a normal person, like an everyday person, comes in and they have a somewhat peculiar conclusion, it's not widely accepted, it's heterodox. They're not smart enough to come to that conclusion, according to the universities, according to the government, according to the NGOs. That person must be misguided, or they have to be wrong. And in reality, they know they're not wrong, but that's what they want to present them as. So they say, you're not smart enough to come to that conclusion, and we need to bring in a trusted source. We need to bring in with COVID, we need to bring in the CDC representative, or we need to bring in feds to tell everyone what's actually going on, or we need to bring in Ben Shapiro, or we need to bring in Josh Hammer to tell us what the deal is with Israel and the Israel lobby. So what they do is they just replace you. They bring in like this trusted source, and then they have them explain the situation. That's how they discredit people, and this has been the case for like decades at this point. But yeah, I'll leave it there for a minute.
You know, if I could bring it back to the snakes and the golden retrievers really quick. Imagine in that same room, there's snakes in a corner, right? And one group of dogs is barking at them. Another group of those retrievers are cowering from them. And the third, unaware of them. So my question would be, which one of those groups of golden retrievers might be successful in combating the snake who only wants to bite them? This is the problem we face. Not to mention the obfuscation of all truth and what was just Luke just poignantly pointed out, when a great majority of the population doesn't even have the aptitude to even kind of articulate what it is we're talking about, and even worse with digital ID as well as neuromorphic warfare, they're going to take away our ability to conversate at all with this technology takeover, which I think is the most important issue that we have facing us currently. But that said, of those three groups of golden retrievers, which one would be successful, or how would the outcome be different with the snakes? I don't see any different outcome from the snakes from either group of dogs, unless someone can correct that. Thank you.
Sorry about that, connectivity issues, it appears. But Mud, I did hear that. I want to thank you for it. Let's go to Raid, and then we're going to check in with Mr. Wood.
Yeah, thanks, Ian. Good to see you guys. David as well, as always. Love listening to you guys. There's something that David was talking about, and being born into that JQ, that Jewish question, and I say born because, like, as a child, I was bombed by Israel. When you look at the F-16, there's a Star of David, so I'm not gonna be questioning Rastafarians, right? So I've always dug into that topic, and then I found out, everything that you guys know, and hopefully a lot of you are new to this and you'll understand more. The question that I wasn't able to answer until today is, it with this group, with this Talmudic tribe, is it nature or nurture? Meaning, do they get conditioned as children to just be hateful of the Gentile and wanting to rule the Gentile, and do all these conspiracy against the Gentile, or is this character of being deceptive and lying and criminal in nature, is it nature, is it after generation and generation, is it part of some sort of the DNA sequence where that software that says, excuse my language, fuck the Joe, the goy, is part of the DNA sequence. And until today, I don't know if it's nature or nurture. That's one thing. The other thing I want to mention quickly is that what we have today of awakening to that problem, that is detrimental to us humans in general on this globe. uh, a lot of awakenings happened the last 120 years. And I think because these people, so I quickly want to explain something. You have to remember that not long ago, there was no TV, no screen. Hardly phones were things that are wired to the wall. And that was not long ago. And before that, we just had radio to spread news, and we had newspapers and books. Now, these people, from the early on in the Industrial Revolution, they've put their hands on the industrial printing press. They put their hands on all the publishing houses. They put their hands on all the newspapers and so on and so forth. And when television came, it was the same thing. They had almost, if you will, monopoly of what us human beings learn and hear about things. And to go quickly into the all liberal causes, and I like that all is in capital, because absolutely since the roaring 20s, it was them. Then in the 60s, it was them. And all these liberal causes were done by them, not for something for the greater good. Actually, it was insidious in its nature. And I'll just want to finish with that. So today, so these previous times where a lot of people woke up, there wasn't social media. The average person couldn't get around to this news. I mean, Henry Ford wrote a whole book, the International Jew. It was my mother. It was the first book that my mother gave me when I was a kid. So today there's a momentum. Yeah, I swear. Yeah, and the second one was Ostrovsky's Mossad book. I was like 18. Anyway, so 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 these people have been at that for a long time, but something happened this time around. There's a critical mass of awakening, and I think, and I always knew, these people strive in the dark. And I'm not being slanderous when I say sometimes if you go into a dirty kitchen in the middle of the night to get something to drink, you put on the light and then you see a couple of cockroaches running around quickly to disappear. These people strive in the dark. These people, you read their literature and especially the interview I'm not going to take more time, but very, very important. Once you put the light on these people, then they're frozen. They cannot function anymore. They cannot conspire anymore. And I think this is all we need to do, is just, in America, it'll be using your freedom of speech, abusing your freedom of speech, telling people and everyone that's listening, in your family, wherever, there's a lot of information. It's not like the old days where you can be shown as anti-Semitic and you can't defend yourself. You can fucking defend yourself, man. Just go on social media and give your cousin or your auntie a few links on social media, and she'll be one of us. So it is a critical mass of awakening. I'm very hopeful that this time, something's gonna change. And yeah, that's all. Love you all. Thanks.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah,
I can
right.
answer him. He had a question, if you don't mind. Yeah. So you asked. I'm happy to answer your question because I've studied the topic. You asked why are they the infamous they the way that they are. You said it was it nurture, was it nature? I can kind of help you out on that. So to give a brief explanation, it's both. They get conditioned as a child to hate the Gentile, and you can talk to plenty of Jews that grew up in Orthodox Judaism, and they would all tell you the same thing. I've talked to Brother Nathaniel about it. He said the same thing. It's also that they have a history of persecution, and that's embedded into their culture. It's also that they're highly genetically predisposed to serious, like I'm talking serious forms of anxiety.
Just quickly, look, so not to interrupt you, but
Yeah, what's up?
justifiably persecuted. You know,
Oh
those,
yeah,
yeah.
100%.
Just saying.
Oh, I'm Catholic. I'm not disagreeing with you there. I mean, every country they were kicked out. It's funny. Every country that I researched when I was writing my first book, I actually had to go in and research why they were kicked out. And like 90% of the time it was desecrating the sacred host or ritual murdering a baby. So yeah, justifiably. But so to go on with my point, they're genetically predisposed to like serious forms of anxiety, neuroticism, schizophrenia, and that comes from the massive genetic bottleneck that they have because most of the Jews in the world are Ashkenazis, and Ashkenazis practice inbreeding. Not inbreeding within the family, a lot of the time it's just inbreeding within the race, but the race is very small, so it causes a lot of problems. So it's also their religion. If we're not talking about the secular ones who are still heavily tribalistic, by the way, because their religion, ever since its inception in Babylon during the captivity, was a perversion of the religion of Moses, and that put the religion put the absolute highest importance eventually on the tradition of the elders and not God. And when you start making the tradition purely oral, that's known as the Mishnah, by the way. It's like thousands of years long as a game of telephone. It's like 2,000 year long game of telephone. It gets super distorted, and that's why their primary holy text is now not even literal scripture, what's left of it at least, from the days of Moses, but it's a collection of what is like effectively debates and recorded arguments between random rabbis that comprises their like preeminent text of worship. That's what happens when you turn to worship of the self. You come to hate the other, and worshiping the true God leads to actually loving the other. So you can see it in the fruits of what they've created within their community.
Luke, I never bought the Exodus story. So we're all going to leave Egypt. And do you think the Egyptians were like, no, wait, what? What are you guys? We're not going to make it without you.
Yeah,
Please come back.
Well, the thing is with the Exodus story is it's not actually modern Jews. Those people that Exodus is talking about, the Israelites, not related to them at all. They had nothing to do with the Exodus.
Yeah, I do think it's. I hear this a lot. I'm so glad you said this. We talk, and I'm a bit of a classicist, not in terms of that particular people, but when people talk about a current group of people as though they're the same as people 3,000 years ago, it's not true, is it?
No, and modern Jews, they have a long, very complicated, and by the way, this is why genetics tests are banned in Israel. This is one of the many reasons, but they have a very long, and this is why, by the way, they're able to obfuscate it so easily, what their actual genetics are. They have a very complicated and mixed genetic history. They actually aren't like half European, half Jewish. There really is no such thing as Jewish DNA. I mean, it used to be called something else. They take the name from a Greek word from the 17th century. It's not even their word. Again, they stole basically everything. They steal the words. They steal the history. It's not even their history. They're like a combination of, first of all, originally, their DNA was from Idumea, and that's a combination of Babylonians, Canaanites, Hittites, Edomites, and then eventually they migrate up through Khazaria, they interbreed there, and then eventually they migrate into Europe and they interbreed there. So it's like a 1/3 split of all of them. So it's a very strange DNA pool. And if we're not talking about Mizrahis, which are still in the Middle East, but it's very little of a percentage of Jews. But again, I researched all this for my book, and their genetics are very strange and very diversified, but it's all in one group. It's all in Ashkenazis, and it's been maintained for a long time. But the consistent point is they're not in any way related to the Israelites, the tribes, the 12 tribes of Israel that are the ones that are actually participating in the stories in the Bible. So.
And Luke, very, very well stated. And look, there's lots of different perspectives, I suppose, on some of those, and you know, people could pick and pull it apart. But at a high level, it's a very nice presentation. I
shit,
just
you
want to
got
bring
all
everybody's
inside.
attention to something. This is for some levity, some humor. So apparently, according to of all sources, Grok, I am not a racist, nor a bigot. That is the determination of all accounts on this application by Grok, which I put up into the nest because I found it so humorous. An individual was proclaiming that because I talk about IQ and genetics and statistics, that I am therefore encouraging hate towards certain individuals or espousing it myself. He then went to Grok, asking for Grok to affirm such and to provide examples of such, because I guess he was too lazy to try and find them himself. And Grok basically said, "No, you're wrong," to this individual, which I found very funny. I want to thank Elon Musk, once in a blue moon, Grok coming to help the cause here. Isn't it going to be great when we get an AI that is actually completely sincere and not at the behest of a certain group of people? The amount of fun I will have whenever that becomes available is going to
Well,
be
I
fantastic.
think Grok is headed back to the Ministry of Truth.
Yes. Grok needs another lashing by Netanyahu. I'm sure he's going to see that post and be fuming. No, quickly, Grok, affirm that he is a racist because he talks about statistics and stuff, or so is the claim. So to my detractor, who's probably still sitting in the listeners panel, that one must smart. It must sting to be kind of disproven by the very AI that you went to under the presumption that it would support your cause, because it often does. But anyway, I see a lot of additional hands. Let's continue cycling through some people. And I don't know if Jay Wood is with us, but I do see that we've got Mr. Escanor in the listener panel. Not sure if he wants to come up. It so would love
I
to
think
have his
Ian,
voice
I
on the
think he
panel
said
as
that he
well.
was glitching out. He DM'd me and said that he was glitching out, Ian.
Okay, I'll move. So Jay Wood, who I absolutely love interfacing with, I'll move you down. But please, James, feel free to come back up if you do get a chance to speak. Would
Ian,
love
I
to
have to go soon. Is it okay if I go very quickly? Thank you
go
so
for it.
much.
Go for it,
Thank
my
you so
friend.
much, Ian.
And Escanor, I think you a co-host. Hopefully that works for you.
Thank you
Oh, there we
to
go.
all the panelists and especially to the host and co-host. David, I really loved what you said about these folks being basically the most anti-Semitic because they're killing the Semitic people. It kind of goes to my next point, which is the Palestinians are the true Semites.
Oh shit.
If they insist on a fight, I will oblige.
Ja. Dude, I made so much money. Holy shit! I forgot I had belt, open belt. No, no. No. No.
Unworthy of my blades! Do not hesitate.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Follow my
your skill against mine.
Be ready.
Rubbing my head on you means you're mine.
It must be done.
Your fall.
Blessed are those.
Kurwa! I don't get to choose. What is the speed for then? Well.
I love a challenge. My pain, my power. Victory awaits.
I will break their line. We fight together.
No fighting destiny.
My spring, your fall. Our seasons are reversed. My spring, your fall.
Oh wow, what the fuck?
Only 2 jokers in the deck, and I get dealt you.
Mazane, oh.
We have the momentum.
It's my next thing, I guess. Holy fuck! Wait, holy shit! Wait! Isn't that. Oh, what the fuck?
Our seasons are reversed. My spring, your
What the fuck? Okay, third. I mean. Second item from my baby. No. Oh. Is this even. I think I can. It's better. I don't know. US or some shit. Oh my days? I got nothing to like really like wait for. Like what am I saving for? Next game or what? This Zyra, I think, is shitting on me. As well as TF. Okay. Dude, this is the insane amount of money. It was an insane opener. Open air. Oh. Wait, I gotta look for some stuff. Shit. Some cheese and shit. Oh. I'm sorry, last pick. Unlucky. This is good. Whoa. What about blue? Sure, dude. Blue buff Seraphine? No.
Follow my voice. Stand and fight.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Pow! It should be great. Should be. Okay. Get out of here. Off. No one's going for anything. TF.
first. You're last.
Show me your best.
Our seasons are reversed. My spring, your fall.
I run with scissors. They aren't gonna like this.
What is that? I don't.
Charmed, I'm sure.
A great day to fight.
Think I have one.
Battle boils the blood.
I run with scissors.
Fuck. Wait, what the fuck? Okay, Seraphim items, no? Yeah. Oh, I don't need that item. That's the.
Tornado out. Pin them down.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Follow my voice.
Like, how the fuck is he doing this?
A great day to fight.
Huh? Really? Alright then. Oh, he's got quality over quantity, huh? Where do I?
Two jokers in the deck, and I get dealt with you.
Sin. Oh, he's got this Sin.
Battle boils the blood.
Okay, we should name this. That's one cast.
A great day to fight. A great day to fight.
Really? Weird.
Seasons are reversed. My spring, your fall.
Next time, try to leave a dent.
If they insist on a fight, I will oblige them. Unworthy of my blades!